Hello everybody, Grubtailed here. So we're going to be doing another one of these videos where I just talk a bit, but this is going to be different. This is going to be a new series on my channel called Drip or Rip, which doesn't make any sense, but you know, I just had to find a name for it. I had it in my head for a couple days. I just wanted to make a video on it, so that's what I'm doing. Now, what this series is going to be about, it's going to be talking about various SS games, characters, release and pre-release, and talking about how they performed. So this is going to be the first episode, or point episode, because it's going to be on UTPR. Jevil and Asgore have already released, and we can't really cover them anymore since it's been a while. Well, I'm still going to do it anyway, so this is going to be the first technical episode of this series. Let's begin, starting with Asgore. Now, I'm not going to have any reactions to it because I literally already reacted to it, if you want to watch that, but I'm assuming you've all seen UTPR Asgore. If you haven't, I guess I'll just do a quick showcase here, and then we'll cut back to when we talk. Alright, ready? Cue the clip. I said cue the clip. now that you're back, we are gonna talk about it. So, we're gonna find out if Asgore was a rip or a drip character. Drip being, was the moveset good? Do they fit in a Soul Shatters game? And how does it impact the game in general? Now, Asgore is really odd, because I personally think Asgore is sick. The best Asgore we've seen, probably, but he just doesn't fit in Soul Shatter games at all. But let's talk about the first part. So what I think they did well about his moveset, he's big and imposing, he's strong and powerful, and you feel like once you're against him, you really have to rely on everything you have to take him down. And he's really tanky, all that. But this is a fighting game. That a player versus player fighting game. And when you fight against a character that feels like a boss character, that's tanky, and you're playing a normal character meant for PvP, it feels awful. Because if you're fighting a good player with Asgore, you're gonna feel like you're getting outsmarted and you're never gonna ever touch this guy in your entire life. You're gonna have to rely on stray fireballs to hit him. But if you're fighting a bad player, he's gonna get demolished instantly because he doesn't know how the character works, and he'll get shredded faster than a Sans Blaster 5. It's just a really odd character. He's not a PvP character, he's a PvE character, if that makes sense. He wouldn't belong in a game where you fight players. He would belong in a game where you fight enemies, or you are said enemy and you fight players. He just doesn't fit in a game with mechanics like knockback and stun and all this other stuff. You could tell they tried to balance him by giving him a bunch of moves that can bypass stun. In a game that has stun because combos. But it just turned into a big mess because he just turned into a big chunky just boss character instead of an actual character. I'm not saying we don't need any more tanks or boss characters. I'm just saying the way they executed it was not that great. And that's what I think people are mad about. Not that his moveset was bad, not that he was like just awful, but because he was executed poorly. Yeah, his moveset is bad for a PvP game, but for any other game, I think it'd be perfect. It'd be amazing. Like a more casual game, like Fight for Love, for example. I don't know. It'd be sick in that game, but it just wouldn't work for a PvP game. And that's where I stand on Asgore. So, obviously, Asgore's gonna be a rip for me. He had so much potential, but it was just the wrong game. If they make a PvE game mode, you know what? Sure, why not? He'd be amazing in there. I'd love to play as him in that PvE game mode. But he is just not built for PvP at all. Oh, you saw how like 1,000 more people got the Sandsman badge, right? Like literally, I'm pretty sure 90% of them were using Asgore because he just beats up on NPCs. He doesn't do anything against players, man. So yeah, my rating for Asgore is a rip. Out of 10, I'd give him a 6. He's cool, but he's just in the wrong game, that's all. It's like Minecraft Steve in Smash Bros. Yeah, he's cool, but he's just in the wrong game. Actually, you could say that for any game character, but it just makes the most sense for Steve. Alright. Hey guys, Future Corruptailed here. So, I decided to re-speak the Jevil part, because it was more about me hating on Jevil than speaking about what they did with Jevil. So I'll go by the guidelines I did in my last part for Asgore. Was the character's moveset good? Does it belong in a Soul Shatters game? And how does it impact the game in general? So starting off with the first one, let's talk about the moveset. Actually, I forgot. This is where I'm going to play the showcase of Jevil for you guys if you haven't seen it yet. If you're watching this video, you probably have. But here, I'll just throw it at you real quick. Now that you're back, let's talk about it. The moveset. Me personally, I don't like it. Now, it's a cool moveset, don't get me wrong. Actually, no, forget that. It is not a cool moveset. Let me just be honest here. So, we're gonna go through all the moves, and we're gonna talk about them. Starting off with 1. What is that? Phase 1, and the first move, it's a scythe throw. Alright, yeah, you're gonna need some basic moves in some characters, like how Undyne just has a spear throw, Asgore just has a trident throw, every character has just a slash, so yeah, they'll need it. Then they have 2. 2 is a really cool move, a really unique move, using his spades to ride and using his scythe to ride up on it like a hoverboard, which would then turn and fire attacks. That's a cool move. 3, also a reference from the game, however he only shoots spades, and it's less cool, but it's still cool and it's still original. And then we get to 4. 4 is also a reference to the game with the 4 scythes that spin around and hit. That's also a really cool move, I like that move. 5 is also a really unique move. He slams down his scythe, then the spades rise out of the ground, and then they hit them. Then we have 6. It's also based on another move. And 7, also based on another move. It's all based on the game, and that's why I like it. Sort of. 7, they could have done better, but I just feel like they did pretty good for the Phase 1 moveset. Now, the problems I have with this character is it's Phase 2. It's Phase 2 might be one of the craziest movesets I've ever seen, because it's just not that great. I'm gonna be honest, it's not that great, man. So, let me tell you this. If I told you all these, you literally saw it with your own eyes. Phase 2, 1, he slashes with his scythe. Phase 2, he slashes with his scythe. Phase 2, 3, he spins with his scythe. Phase 2, 4, he spins with his scythe in the air and launches projectiles. Oh my gosh, it's different. And then 5, it's another scythe with slash. And then 6, it's another scythe. And then 7, it's another scythe. Please, man. Jevil didn't just use scythes. You were still missing so many other moves you could have used. You had all that brain power. You could have made anything. And you gave him 7 scythe moves. It's like Betty Nori, but she can fly. That's what Phase 2's moveset feels like. And there's no approach options other than 3 and 4, which you'll get punished easily for. And it just doesn't feel great to use. It doesn't really feel like Jevil outside of the voice lines, obviously. But I don't know. The moveset's not that great. Phase 2? Phase 2's a little rough. Phase 1 is kinda cool. They still could have done more, but Phase 2 just really took it down. I just feel so bad. What about the carousel? You could have used anything from the Sans vs. Jevil animation. I remember watching that a long time ago. I thought it was interesting. Even though it was just a bunch of scythe slashes, yeah. But he still did it better than what I saw in Phase 2, not gonna lie. If my memory is correct, but you could have thrown... He had bombs! I think he had bombs too, did he not? I'm pretty sure he had bombs. You could have given him, like, anything. You could give him any circus clown. You could give him a cannon. You could give him, like, a beach ball. You could have given him, like... I don't know, he could have even flied. He could have even flied. But... it's just 7 slice moves. Alright, before I go off and make this video longer than it has to be, let's move on to the next part. Would it belong in a Soul Shires game? No. No. Phase 1's moveset, I don't think it really belongs in a Soul Shires game. I mean, it's pretty... it's like Asgore. It's pretty similar to Asgore in the sense that he doesn't fight like a character, he fights like a boss. So, like, he has all these projectile moves that are easily avoidable, but it feels like it's more for crowd control rather than, like, fighting one-on-one, which you're usually doing in this game. unless you're an active teamer. But and now we're gonna talk about how it affects the game. Now, I don't think it really affects the game at all. The game feels the exact same because nobody uses Jevil. However, I will say that it has impacted the game somewhat, because people do sort of use the character. They sort of use it, and it's kind of sort of balanced against Glacial Kara. Because when you're fighting... Actually, no. I'm not going to say he's balanced again. I meant he's balanced against Undertale Frisk. Because when you're fighting with Jevil and you're fighting with Undertale Frisk, it really could go either way. That's how I see it, in that matchup specifically. Actually, never mind, because they had the update where they made Gun 1 true and neutral. I don't know why they added that back after they got rid of it. I think they just really missed it, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think that's a pretty that would have been a pretty even matchup, because they're both glass cannons. They can both kill each other in 2 combos, and yeah, that's how I feel about that matchup. And really, the game would be the same without Jevil. I mean, people would have just used Glacial Kara instead of Jevil. It's just Glacial Kara is a more technical character than Jevil, and it's more easy to combo with Jevil than like Glacial Kara and stuff. I mean, they're both easy to combo with, but Jevil is more straightforward. And the game, there'd still be Glacial Kara, it'd still be like pretty much the same, except like the way they use their moves are completely different, but they're still filling the same roles pretty much. They just have different attacks and etc. Other than that, Jevil he's a rip, bro. What am I supposed to say? He's a rip. He has 0 drip. He dropped the drip off at the Deltarune office. Like, he got the invitation and he came over here in his pajamas. Like, he lost all the drip. He ran out. But yeah, that's basically it. I will cover SS Kara in the future. Once SS Kara is released for early access and private servers, I'll cover that. I'll make a drip or rip again, and I'll go easy on them because like it's not done, obviously, and we'll just see how it turns out. 'Cause last time when we got something good to start with and then something bad to end with, I don't know if they can make 2 goods this time. I've seen the sneak peeks. It's looking pretty like Jevil and Asgore were, but we'll see. I'm just kind of excited to see what it's like. We might get this update on the weekend. I'm not sure. This video is probably my most edited ever to date. Like, I've never made this many edits on a video before, which is sad because it's still low quality as heck, and I'm sorry for that. I wish I could put more quality, but I just don't have the time for that. Alright, sorry for ranting, but that's basically the end of the video. See ya.